has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Interrail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
How do people feel about getting Big Fitness Energy at Planet Fitness for $1 down and $10 a month? They feel as thrilled as a kid the first summer they're tall enough to ride the roller coaster! That's right. When you join Planet Fitness right now, you'll get access to tons of equipment and free fitness training in a clean and spacious club. Don't wait. Join the judgment-free zone today for that all-day energy. Download the free Planet Fitness app and join today for $1 down, $10 a month.
Deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better, pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Introducing The Outlet by Sartor Heyman. The Outlet brings you luxurious Sartor Heyman quality jewelry at unbeatable prices. Shop our expansive inventory of overstocked merchandise and a vast estate collection that just hasn't found its home yet. This is your chance to own stunning designer jewelry at a fraction of the cost. Elevate your style at The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Downtown at 12th and O or online at sartorheyman.com.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket. Every Saturday morning now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Welcome in to the Ahman Green Show, sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska eSports coach.
Look at Green all by himself. 20, 10, touchdown.
98 yards and a Lambeau leap. Here is your host, Ahman Green.
All right, welcome into the Ahman Green Show. I'm your host, Ahman Green, along with my good friend and teammate Harrison Arns. How you doing, Harrison? On the ones and twos over there.
Doing good. It's not freezing anymore.
I know it's like
way better.
It's like it feels great. It's 30. Like that's not cold.
Yeah, no, I was wearing a crew neck, and I was like
That's not hot.
sweating a little bit in my apartment, just not quite used to it. But yeah, doing a lot better here in Lincoln. Obviously, we got Ticket Weeknights back, school's back in session, so that means we'll have a lot more of these student athletes Ticket Weeknight shows kind of going back on their regular slots. We got the Daily Nebraskan debuting tonight. That's going to be from 11 to midnight. Shout out to Ben, one of our producers. They're doing that for the Daily Nebraska and give you some recent updates just around here. But yeah, things are good. School's back in session. The weather's getting better. Nebraska basketball got another dub.
Yep.
You get to see some Iowa slander on their basketball team with Caitlin Clark. I'm sure we'll talk about that.
I saw that.
Of course.
She's okay.
Yeah, she's okay. And then, of course, some awesome NFL playoffs as well. And we talked about it. Esports doing great as well. So plenty of things to smile about here at the 1040 Ticket Studios.
Yes. So we're going to start with esports, of course, because we got a lot of good stuff. We got a good vibe going at the start of the semester here. Started last week with in the BEC, so the Big Esports Conference, our Big 10 competition for the season. We just came out of we started the halfway point. So it's basically like NBA All-Star break. Take that little week off or whatever, and then we'll get back. We had a month off, if not more, for most of the teams, and we're back at it. So last Monday, Overwatch 2 team beat Purdue. And I was trying to look it up on the website here, but it's not acting right now. But I believe it was 3-2 or 3-1. So we lost the first match. No, it was 3-1. We lost the first match and then ran the last three. So swept them, after that. So that was great. Young team too. So that's what I'm excited about. We got young leaders on that team that basically learn how to collaborate with his teammates a little bit better. And I say with each other. And so that was fantastic to watch. And then the next night, I believe it was Rocket League. They got a win. And Smash, since it was technically no school last week, so nobody was here technically. Right. So that got pushed. I think that got rescheduled maybe for this week or a couple weeks down the line. And then Valorant played, I say, a good match, but didn't get the win. But that's okay. We understand how it's video games. It's competition. You're not going to win everything, but you got to learn from your mistakes, which, we could watch film on that. And I'm pretty sure, they have. And so I'll get into that. And I know they got practice later on tonight or maybe tomorrow evening. It's first day of school or first week of school too. So I got to be mindful of that, but check the schedule, make sure I know when that practice is, so I can jump in the lobby and say, hey, this is what I saw. Cause I watched their game. I was actually in the game with them. So give them that feedback so they could use that to get better. And I'm pretty sure amongst themselves, they know that too. So, and then like this fun stuff in the next couple of weeks, we got, from the NFL standpoint, myself, having a great opportunity from my background, being, playing in NFL and being an esports coach. And so I got invited out to 2 NFL events, out to Pro Bowl for a couple of days. And then the week after that, out to Super Bowl. And so Pro Bowl week will start with myself being the play-by-play color for the HBCU Madden tournaments. And it's a women's bracket tournament.
Nice.
No dudes. I was like, awesome.
Yeah. Why did they split that?
I don't know.
Is there competitive advantage?
I have no idea, but I love it. I
Yeah.
got the young ladies playing Madden. I get to see the young ladies go at it. And I'm excited to see what between the teams they use, if they're going to allow them to kind of let it get a little loud in there where they're trash talking. Some leagues do it. I know the NBA 2K league, when they first started, if you were at their studio and I got a chance to visit their studio for about one day, or a whole day where I watched the games, and it wasn't no problem with them barking at each other. So their setup was just like what we're sitting at right now. It was like, this was one team over here, and then it was another like U-shaped area team looking back at them.
I like that though, because
they could get up and just point at them. I think
that's kind of how it should. I mean, it's just like sports.
Yeah,
you're gonna let them get under your skin or not?
Yeah, it's a professional sport. The pros do it. Yeah, we've seen plenty of video of Kobe, Michael Jordan talking about who is the best trash talker and them going at it. So I'm interested to see how we're going to set this up. So I fly into Orlando next Tuesday afternoon. I leave here in the morning, and then we have rehearsal. And then the tournament is on the 1st or the 31st. And then the event, I believe, I fly in the 30th, and we got rehearsal. And then the event is on the 1st. And then I fly out Friday back here. But then I fly out, I take a sip of coffee, and I'm going to be right back on the plane out to Vegas. And the good thing about the Vegas trip, I have a couple of esports players that could come with me, Clone and Jaden from Call of Duty, team manager, and Z, our our esports program president, she'll be able to come out and be a part of the college fair and gamer fest that they're doing. So the same production group is going to be out there, where it's going to be the and my one of my graduate assistant, Abby Heyman, that was in my sports media class that helped me with that class last semester. She's able to take part because she's a major at the J School. So because it's all about, the college fair is going to be networking, so Alex Fernando, who's our J School recruiter, he's going to be there, able to talk to high school students about our program in terms of the J School, about the Nebraska esports program, myself as well, and then commentating Madden on that Sunday too, the Sunday before, sort of the day of the Pro Bowl, which is a flag football game. Anyway, I'll be commentating Madden, but then during that day, the students and Alex will be able to be looking around the facility where we're at. I'm pretty sure it's like an event center where it's going to have local area high schools from obviously Las Vegas, California, coming in for this event because it's Super Bowl. It's the start of the week. And then, there's colleges other colleges along with University of Nebraska esports will be there, showing our programs and just giving everybody information about the school, the esports program, to let them know that, this is something that is within your reach. And now I'm the coach. Here's some players. You could talk to them, get feedback on how things are going and what we have here on campus about everything. So it's like the first part of this semester is a nice little jump start for Nebraska esports and University of Nebraska and the J School all in the same. It's first month. So it's going good so far. Good.
Sounds like you got a busy calendar ahead too.
Definitely busy.
Real
Always
quick,
good.
I want to get to the text line here. It sounds like we're losing John and Cortland, but shout out to him. He's always listening. Says Mr. Green, aka Batman, have a good night. Appreciate computers and gaming. Prefer bird dogs and fishing rods. Keep on, young sir. And he said, too bad track didn't have the money it has now again. I think John and Cortland's a big track guy. He remembers your track days back then. But going through this, obviously with esports, it does feel like there is starting to get that recognition, at least here around Lincoln, what this program is becoming. What has it been like for you as you continue to just kind of try to keep feeding this out here, that this esports program here in Nebraska is growing, trying to get it to these recruits? What has kind of been some of the unknown challenges of just, because there's people here in Lincoln that they're still surprised when they kind of hear that news. There's an esports team. Yeah. And especially now it's like, they're doing really well. What has that kind of been? Just trying to spread the word and message that esports here in Nebraska is growing. Yeah, it's just, like you just said, it's just the biggest part of just continue to get the message out. And we have faculty members in the house at the J School that are understanding that too and helping us out. So Christian Anderson, he does a lot of media classes, so media production, and they work with the, I believe, what's the one? It'll pop back in my head. It's a nice name. It's a production ad agency that's right across the way into the Children's Museum that's right across the way from the J School. And the name will pop in my head, but long story short of it, he has a class where he's going to have close to 50 students that'll be able to give us access to their work. So they're going to help us in social media and production. So basically be our own little mini, I wouldn't even say mini because it's 50 students, including our students. So you're talking about 60, 70 kids throughout a semester collaborating on content just for Nebraska esports. So it's going to be basically like Husker Vision, but for esports. And will be anything that we got coming down the line. So content that will develop from what we're doing this Saturday. We're doing another team activity, take pictures, shoot video, send that to the social media team, chop it up, then throw it on social media. When we go to Super Bowl, take pictures, take video, get them back, chop it up. Again, throw it on our website, throw it on social media. So, having that right there, it just then spreads the, I say awareness. People have, if you go to TikTok, you go to X, you go to Facebook, you go to our website, you go to J School website, you go to J School Twitter or X and Facebook and Instagram. It's everywhere. My Instagram and X, I'm going to make sure I'm posting it, hashtagging it, because the more we get it out that way, and then high school is starting to see it. And like, I'm in my already 4th time teaching my intro to esports class, but 3rd time here at Nebraska. So now we're going to be working with some of the local area high schools to develop esports events for their esports team. So the high schools I talk to, they have esports teams like Lincoln Northeast and Lincoln High, and then facilities like Sportsplex, Kinetic down on West O. Oh yeah, and the Bay that's in the area. They want to do some events with us, so I could use those students along with my class students that I have in intro to esports, special topics. So this
a lot of good, like I said, vibe and stuff, but that all that is working to bring everybody in. So working with the local high schools, those kids eventually go home and say, hey, we worked with college students, or we worked with some guy named Ahman Green. We think he played football, mom and dad. The kids may not know very well, which is okay.
Yeah, the dad will light up, or mom, whoever the bigger Husker fan
exactly.
is.
I'll just say, yeah, go ask mom and dad who I am, and then they're gonna be like, what? What's he doing playing video games? So there'll be that word of mouth spread. And the coaches at the high schools that I already reached out to, like they were already like on board from day one a year ago when I got here. And so now when I brought this to them, they're like, yep.
Is that part of the dream for you, is building this Nebraska pipeline?
Yeah.
Just so like we're making sure that all the best esports athletes here in Nebraska, there's a direct pipeline to Nebraska esports.
Yep. Between that and then having the best facility too for their talent, for their gaming talent, for their production talent, and then for their innovation talent. I say production is not just having the camera on you as you're playing, is knowing what that camera is, knowing then what the best microphone to have to make sure the players can be heard, making sure you know how to set up the stream. Or we have some of the students that will be they have graphic art design backgrounds already, and they're making up our post, or they're making up our website, or they're cutting together, working with the media students that will be coming out of the Professor Kristen Anderson class. They put that media together and create full-length movie preview sizzle reels for the esports program. Like we're planning out some good stuff today because we just ordered some new jerseys. So we're going to put together a nice jersey sizzle reel to unveil it to everybody that is not here so they can see it on our social media. And of course, most colleges, what do they do today, right? Oregon, we talked about this during the season. Oregon got 1,000 combinations of jerseys to football pants. And so it's just doing that same thing for the high school students here in Nebraska, Lincoln, and all over the state. And that watches this show and watches our show to social media, they'll have that to think about when they're looking at other schools to go for their major and also to play esports.
Yep. And it is exciting. There's always kind of that timetable. I think we've talked about it before with parents trying to understand, what does this look like for my kid? How serious, what are kind of the limits, and when maybe pull them off, or it's okay if they play for a couple hours here. But we do have one unknown texter. My son's in junior high and big into gaming. Do you do anything with junior high school kids? He's currently in 7th grade.
Yeah, we actually got a couple 8th graders that showed up in our esports production camp this past summer.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we had a couple 8th graders
learning that early. So they'll set themselves up well.
So yeah, he's going to be graduating and going to the 8th grade. Hey, he can get snuck in that little sign up. It's Big Red Esports camps we did with 4-H.
Yeah,
and that's where the 4-H, that's where they had the camp counselors, and we just basically did what we do every day. Like I'm teaching this class, so I basically taught them how to, in 5 days, myself, Alan Eno, that was our head production guy. He was on there in the class with me, teaching the kids basically all the equipment, and then creating and run a show like we do here. With a program, we're programming, the radio show. So we're programming this esports event that we did that Friday for them. Starting on Monday, by Friday, we had an event all planned out.
That's awesome.
It was fun. So yeah, if we could get, I say 8th graders are definitely on there because we had 2 in the group this past summer. So we definitely could get them in there.
Yeah, and it's always worth, I think, to at least go out and try it. Maybe it's not even the gaming that catches your eye. You kind of talked about maybe you go there and you see all the production work behind the scenes, and that maybe catches your eye. And then all of a sudden, instead of pro gamer, you see someone who's like, let me just build this production resume and see where I can go with it.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of it. You kind of talked about with your classes, a lot of that all correlates. If you're working with the social media team, you're going to be working with a lot of other groups, putting all that stuff together, working with the actual quote unquote gamers as well, getting all that good content out. And, working this job, the production world just keeps growing. So definitely get involved. Maybe you realize it's not the gaming that's intriguing, but if it is, we got a program here too with Ahman Green for that.
Exactly. And the biggest part is the hands-on part.
Yes.
That's the part I explained to my class, and that's the whole kind of the mantra of the J School. It's like we'll show you a camera and show you how to use it. And it's like, look, all right, you got to go out in Lincoln or wherever and get some content, bring it back, and then chop it up, make it look good, make it look all fancy with the bells and whistles, and then do it again. That's your assignment. And they were like, oh, and most kids, every time I hear a faculty member say that line to me, I'm like, I'm that kid. I would be that kid. You just give me a camera, some lights, a boom mic, and whatever, and I'll make it happen. I'm gonna do something with it. And so that's what these kids get to do. Being at the J school.
Yeah, and I remember doing a few of those where you go out there and you interview random people. It was always a lot of fun. Definitely gets you out of your shell doing all that stuff. Yeah, 100%. It throws you out there. I remember because I went straight to the student union after class. Shouldn't have taken a break because by the time I got to the student union, everyone I was asking was like, yeah, this is my third time being interviewed. Apparently, everyone beat me to it, but it kind of broke the ice a little bit for me. But yeah, I always recommend just go check it out. If your kid's into gaming, maybe he's not the pro gamer that he wants to be, or maybe he is on that route, or she. Yeah, as we're talking about. But with that scene, there's so much involved in it outside of just the gaming in itself. And we've seen the markets. If you're anywhere kind of near the market these days, and you're actually pretty solid at what you do in terms of production, there's people that'll hire you. They'll pay you good money if you're good at what you do, especially with the camera stuff. Was that something you ever got interested in? I know you're a gamer, but as far as the production, you do your own streams.
Yes.
What is that for you? Is it more you're interested into the gaming and being an entertainment, or is it more I do like all this behind the scenes stuff?
I kind of like it all.
Okay.
Just like football. Like I knew if my team needed me to do something, I told Coach Solis, remember when he asked me if I was going to redshirt, I was like, look, I'll punt the ball. I am not redshirting. I know I could do it. I punted in high school. I had a 40.5 average. Let's go.
That's not bad. Yeah.
Right. So same here. Like I stream, I host a show, I do play-by-play for actual football games, and I'll do it for Madden. I'll do it for Rocket League. I'll do it for Valorant. I tell the kids all the time, but they want to do it themselves, which is fine. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying, hey, break in case of emergency. You can hit up Coach Green. I'll shoutcast like League of Legends with you. Let's get it. So being a jack of all trades for me in this instant, it's like not a problem. I'm like when we were talking today when I was talking with Christian Anderson and his two ladies that was sitting there, he's like, what exactly are you doing? I'm like, I pretty much said like everything. Like, what do you need? I'm like, we got social media. Yep, we need help there, or not help, but more hands on deck. Yep, we need it. Because we already have a group of kids doing it. They're doing a fantastic job, but to get some extra hands so we get more posts out in a week, where we only get the 4 posts that we do for the games, which is enough in 7 days, right? Yep. 4 posts from one account is plenty. But when we then mix those posts up with a static post to then an animated post or live action that was called B-Real stuff of us playing the game. Like one idea we talked about was asking one of my esports players on the 4 teams that are competing in the big esports conference, or really, it doesn't matter which esports player or team competing on the big screen or not. How about can we send some social media people to your room, your dorm room, your apartment to take some shots of you while you're playing? Maybe do a little interview after you're done playing. Mm-hmm. And then we put that on social media. How does it feel to be playing here? It's a win, it's a loss. Those type of, conversations that we see. We were watching on this weekend when the big NFL games, all the great games that were played this weekend, is post-game interviews. Mm-hmm. So we have a Rocket League player, a Smash player, a Valorant player, Overwatch player play a good game, good or bad, but they have an interview. And that teaches that athlete, right? It then gets them ready for a microphone in their face. Because a lot of esports athletes, I've seen it, they don't have that training there yet. So it gives them kind of something that they don't expect, because usually a game ends right now, then they just go and jump on another game. Mm-hmm. They're not getting ready for an interview. So it gives them that type of skill set that they don't realize they're going to have, because we got players that already told me, Coach, I want to go pro. I want to go pro in Rocket League. I want to go pro in Overwatch 2. I want to go pro in League and Valorant. So, okay, if you're going to go pro, part of being a pro is doing this. You're on a mic. You're either answering questions or you're asking them and then rebuttaling back and forth.
And we've seen it go wrong for both parties.
Exactly.
One side's doing something wrong, or just not too long ago, Mike Tomlin, the reporter asked him about, is this basically his last game? You don't do that after a loss.
No.
Like a direct loss right after.
Did that to Mike McCarthy. And I'm like, that's just bad style of reporting. Mm-hmm. As an interviewer, that's a question, just common sense.
Well, especially the respect that, like you're saying, Tomlin's shown over the years. Like probably one of them, like in terms of the media, he's always treated the media very well with utmost respect. So I was like,
he gives you good stuff
like that. It bothers me when it's like, come on, he's been feeding you good stuff for years,
all the time.
That's like way too sudden of a question. You got to have that dual respect, and it showed. It didn't. You can imagine, just didn't go well.
No,
so
it didn't.
That's why you got to have that understanding, whether the reporter or the athlete. How am I going to handle this situation?
100%. So that's an idea. And so I'm going to put that in the Discord tonight to see who says, yeah, I'll do it. I know out of the almost 1,000 club members, like it doesn't have to be a varsity player. We could take any of the club members because we're all a community there. And we're already basically trying to grow together. So anybody, varsity, JV, club members that say, hey, yeah, we'll invite somebody into my my stream that'll be in the room with me while I'm playing the game. And then when it's over, I'll sit down and do an interview. Then we could use that content for Nebraska esports, for TikTok, for YouTube, for X, and to continue to grow it out there, because the more we do different things, then we'll catch the eye of all the kids here in Nebraska and obviously outside the states as well, because the biggest thing is this kind of go everywhere and be seen everywhere, because that's how you end up growing. We're growing a little bit faster.
Do you have a little bit of an edge in terms of your production team that the standards are high in terms of, you see what Nebraska football, the volleyball, what they put out on their social media.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a personal edge that we're the media group, like we're going to dominate this?
100%. Because Christian Anderson, what I've only been here, I'm right at a year now.
Yep.
And he's that guy. Yeah. And I always seem to gravitate towards those guys. So those guys or gals.
Yep.
I find somebody that they are really good at what they do. And just so happened his office is literally right like 2-3 steps from my office.
And he's that guy.
And he came to me right before, yes, in production and in the classes he teaching. His students already, I was sitting next to a couple of them today, and they were taking notes. They were being real professional. And I'm like, yeah, this is going to turn out. This is going to turn out good, because he already got an award last semester for their production of some stuff. And oh man, it's just fantastic. I'm just trying to think of the name. I know the name. I'll get it by the end of the show here. And it's just knowing that I got that support system. And even when I saw Z, who is the Nebraska Club president, Nebraska Esports Club president, I told her to buy it. She just lit up. Oh my God. And she already knows, yeah, we got a production team, and we're just adding on to the roster, and that's what she was like, we're fine with that. That's great. We can help Sam with production, and we have a couple more kids that could come in and help him out and help with all the streams, not just 1 or 2 streams, but all the streams, but then take that content, do what they do in the studio, make it look good, put some nice transition, some nice stingers here, graphic there. And then it looks like a full-on production that you see on regular TV, or you see when you go to the movie theater. It's just like, that's the stuff that gets you excited. And like for me, in my background, not even, I say going into the background of me being a kid, watching movies growing up. When I saw that first scene of a movie when I was a kid, it was like, oh, that's cool. But now as an adult, when I understand why a movie's built and how a movie's built from start to finish, then I'm like, yeah, I'm dealing with a good production group right here. And so when I saw his video, we had a big teachers meeting about 2 months ago, a couple months before Christmas break. And I'm like, everybody started clapping. I say, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, good job. I'm like, that is awesomeness, because these young kids don't realize sometimes, the confidence is not there. They don't realize how good of a work they produce.
Yeah.
The kids don't know until they either get an A or somebody said, oh my God, that's awesome. And so when the kid hears that, it's like, oh man, just like when people told me, oh man, Ahman, you just had a great game, good game. And then I saw the stats too. I was like, oh, that means I'm gonna go out there and play harder, to get better or win more and what have you. So to have these young production people along with the gamers all collaborating, that's the beautiful part. Teamwork makes the dream work. I say that about 5 times a day, but it'd be great for them because it's building that confidence with them as a production person, then as well as a gamer, to understand that, hey, we do this right. We have some fun with it, and we are, because we're doing a passion thing, not something that somebody's making us to do. There's something here. We're doing something that we're passionate about, and it'll come out. You'll see that in the product once it's done, basically.
Yeah, and that's just something to watch. I'm curious to see what it continues to build up to, because, and I'll just give credit. I mentioned football and volleyball, but pretty much across the board, I'll say when it comes to Husker athletics, even just their academics page, the social media team kills it on about everything. Like there's so many times where I'll see Husker stuff trending, and it's not always all Husker fans. Just the production value is that high that anybody watching kind of gets goosebumps, even if they're not a Husker fan.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. So again, something to watch, and then definitely subscribe to him on Instagram, social media if you haven't yet. Definitely a great way to support the esports team, and he'll give you updates whenever their next matches are. With that being said, we'll go ahead and throw it to our first break here. This is the Ahman Green Show. Harrison Arns on the board, running the 1s and 2s. Toast is always to my left. We'll talk to you guys on the other side.
Introducing The Outlet by Sartor Heyman. The outlet brings you luxurious Sartor Heyman quality jewelry at unbeatable prices. Shop our expansive inventory of overstocked merchandise and a vast estate collection that just hasn't found its home yet. This is your chance to own stunning designer jewelry at a fraction of the cost. Elevate your style at the outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Downtown at 12th and O or online at sartorheyman.com.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better, pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and we'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at Coppell. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Coppell. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at coppellcars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did. Must have trade and finance with roof credit. Stock number G207684.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action. The Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
How do people feel about getting big fitness energy at Planet Fitness for $1 down and $10 a month? They feel as thrilled as a kid the first summer they're tall enough to ride the roller coaster! That's right. When you join Planet Fitness right now, you'll get access to tons of equipment and free fitness training in a clean and spacious club. Don't wait. Join the judgment-free zone today for that all-day energy. Download the free Planet Fitness app and join today for $1 down, $10 a month.
Deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
Have you been accused of a crime? Is your freedom at stake? At Liberty Law Group, we are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Facing the court is stressful, overwhelming, and full of uncertainty. At Liberty Law Group, we believe in treating every person with respect, compassion, and understanding. When legal troubles are keeping you up, trust Liberty Law Group to fight your battles. To learn more, call 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
So he can maybe run.
So like speed option, those things. All you want to do.
Speed. I can't see much.
It's also. Oh, it's you.
Oh,
look what you did. Look what you did. Look at Bill.
Down.
Come on
Just
now.
calm down.
I don't say anything about semicolons or should there be
Word
parentheses or
Too many commas over there.
Too many,
Come on.
run-on sentences. Don't talk about that. It's not my wheelhouse.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
This is the Ahman Green Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Doors Plus.
All right, welcome back into the Ahman Green Show. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. The host, as always, to my left, Ahman Green in studio here with me. Made it back before he heads out to Vegas, getting ready for some more events coming up here shortly. How do you stay organized? Are you a calendar guy, or are you just
no, I'm 100. If it doesn't get put on the calendar, if I call somebody or email somebody, and if I initiate the contact, then I send the invite. But if they reach out to me.
Mm-hmm.
Phone, text, or whatever, I'm like, all right, can you please send me an invite to this email for my calendar? Because if it's not on my calendar, it will be forgotten, and then or it will get double booked. Because I've done that several times to myself in the last few years. I'm like, wait a minute, and I almost did it a couple days ago. I got invited to go down to Southern University to talk about what I'm doing here and to talk to their students about esports and some other things, and the date kept ringing in my head, March 9th. Then I looked at just a couple of days, like an hour went by or two, and then all of a sudden I looked at some, and I'm like, there it is. It just wasn't in my calendar, but it was like somewhere in a note somewhere I had that is another event that I have to do here. I'm like, I'm glad I found it. So I emailed the lady from Southern University, sorry, I got another event on this day, maybe another time, I could come down. And she's like, no problem. I'm glad you were able to let me know right away. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah.
So
it's always genuine curiosity because I look at guys like DP, you, and countless others, and I'm like, I don't get it.
You got
to stay planned.
You have to put it in the calendar. I mean, I'm not organized by. I'm not. But
organized by force.
But by force. When I say, long as it's in my calendar, I'm good to go. I could get everything else lined up. As long as I know whatever I'm doing at a certain time, it's in that calendar. I got a Google calendar. I have my work calendar. I don't know. I need to dumb that down. There's too many calendars, so I can keep it all in one. I think I've been doing that with whatever's in my work. I kind of throw everything in there, so just in case I don't have to go back and forth between multiple. Little time management there. So
yeah. Well, speaking of the calendar, there is one event on the calendar that seems to be cyclical, and that is the Buffalo Bills losing to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh my goodness!
It is absolute torture if you're a Bills fan.
For a long time.
This game really hurt because it felt like this was the year. Next year, I think the Bills will be in a little bit of cap space hell, where they're going to have some really tough choices to make on the how much their team stays together. Which guys are you letting go? Which guys are you spending a little more money on to keep around? It's going to be a tough year, but there was dropped passes that not just one. Everyone's going to talk, about that one at the end there with Diggs where it goes straight through his hands. But there was multiple big drops. Davis had one. It was a tough grab, but he still had it in his hands. Rolls off on the ground. There's a few other ones throughout that game. You somehow get the fumble back. It turns into a touchback save. Get lucky there, and still found a way. Wide right, nightmare words you want to hear if you're a Bills fan on the field goal. Overall thoughts. I just feel bad for Bills fans. I really thought this was going to be the year for them.
True. I mean, I've been watching this unfortunate moment for all Bills fans since I was in my early preteens.
With the three-peat
of the Buffalo Bills, Jim Kelly, Andre Reed, Cornelius Bennett, Thurman Thomas. Those are their main dogs on that team.
Yeah.
And a few other guys, Darryl Talley and Ted Johnson, just guys that they were Pro Bowlers, Bruce Smith, and it just would not work out for them. I remember watching the game where they played against Warren Moon and the Houston Oilers, where Warren Moon and the Houston Oilers goes up big on them. They're up like 20 points. And then slowly but surely the Buffalo Bills come back and win the game. That gets them then either to the Super Bowl or to the AFC Championship game. And then they win the AFC Championship game and go and face, because the 3 times they went, it was twice against the Cowboys and once against the Commanders at that time, and all 3 times, just hell of a games. I watched all 3 of them. I was like a football fan, so I watched Super Bowls, those 3 in particular. Little bit of a Cowboys fan because of Emmitt Smith. It was just, and to see how they lost tough games, but they fought all the way, and then to have it still there, and it kind of rang in my mind like, man, it's been that long.
Yeah.
Where they haven't got past this level or this round in the playoffs. Even if they got to the Super Bowl, the question was, the next question would have been, are they going to get the victory? Because we know all the other Buffalo Bills with previous Hall of Famers didn't get the win.
Mm-hmm.
Why left? And I'm just like, when I saw that ball go up there, and then knowing the weather, I mean, the wind just took it right. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of. That's always tough,
rough
as a kicker,
because it's out of your control once you kick the ball.
Mm-hmm. And then it did. I wasn't there, obviously, but it definitely looked like all of a sudden that ball got caught by the wind and it just got shoved right.
Man, it's like, was there Spider-Man there and he just webbed it and brought it to him?
It was wide, it looked right. It was bad.
It went right fast. So I'm like, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Buffalo fans, grown men crying.
I think I might have been crying if I was there for that three-peat run, and say I've been a season ticket holder and I'm there for years, and I'm like,
oh, that's
because
rough.
You're at home,
and you got Kansas City on the ropes.
You guys are doing everything you can. You guys are
at each
first
other.
half too defensively.
Yeah,
I thought, Chiefs are in trouble. They're getting manhandled on the run game right now. And so I was like, this could be some serious trouble. I need your help on this, though. And 402-464-5685. Anyone, if you want to point out, what did the Chiefs do in the second half defensively that really put the Bills and slowed them down quite a bit? The time possession was mostly the Bills, but that Chiefs defense was getting absolutely manhandled in the first half. I couldn't really see anything different in the second half that was allowing their success.
I would have to say probably giving in Pachenko. Giving him the run game, getting the run game going will basically nuke time management, nuke possession. So you will then gain where your defense rests up now. And that's why the teams that run the ball, like the Ravens, like the 49ers, that time management, then the defense comes out 100% because they didn't sit on the sidelines for anything from 5 to 10 minutes. And so Pachenko, he had about 97 yards and a touchdown. 15 carries and 6.5 average. So that right there is something that I saw, because obviously with Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid know better. He knows his team. He's going to do what they like to do, is throw the ball around. But then when you get into one of them games, you got to make one of them executive decisions as a coach to understand, okay, this is not our usual makeup of a game. Like we like to throw it around and let our wide receivers make plays after the catch, but we do have a run game. We do have Edwards at Elaire also, and then Pachenko coming off the bench. They both did well, ran hard. And Pachenko, he was a little beat up, had the ankle, still came in there. Edwards Elaire had 31 yards. That's still something. Letting that Bills defense know, look, we're not going to do what we usually do. It was already, as we know, as a score, it was a shootout, but that run game slows the team down, and then defense gets a little bit more energized in terms of the Chiefs defense. They get rested. So then you could defend Josh Allen, him running the ball, him passing the ball a little bit better throughout the rest of the second half.
Yeah, and that's still the part that bothers me, because I thought the Chiefs definitely played. I was obviously rooting for the Bills yesterday. I don't really have anything against the Chiefs. Just kind of like, It's like your Bama, it's like your Patriots.
Yeah.
You guys winning a lot. I'm kind of getting tired of it, but I don't got any real animosity towards the end. But I was rooting for the Bills. And yeah, it just felt like one of those things where even though I felt like the Chiefs stepped it up defensively, there's still so many plays where I was like, you got to be kicking yourself if you're a Bills fan. You can't afford these big drops, because the ball, I think even if they get the field goal, Bass getting a lot of slack for it.
Yeah.
I'm still a pretty big believer. I think Mahomes finds a way to get to OT again or go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, he wouldn't have died easy. None of them players that's been on the last 2 weeks of football fields around America, Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Brock Purdy, all those guys, they're not going to die easy. They're going to play hard to the end, and we saw that. And like on that last pass for Josh Allen, just remember seeing Chris Jones taking that tackle and putting him in Josh Allen's lap as he's throwing the ball.
Yeah.
So it's little things like that people don't realize. When you're a right-handed quarterback and you got a left tackle and a D lineman basically falling into, you can't follow through that throw.
Yep, and you could see it on the replay.
Right.
As soon as he let go of it, he knew.
Those are the things that when you ask that question, why they couldn't do. So now the defense was like either well rested or saying, you know what, if we just push a little harder, we do these. We don't have to do no big things, but get in his face, slow him down that way, but keep him in that pocket. Then that happens, and then it's an underthrow. It's not the throw that he was trying to get to make the completion, and then boom, they got the ball back. Now he could do the best formation in football, victory formation. Let the clock run out and get out of the place. They know. I mean, if any of those Chief players, they got to know how, hard that was. Buffalo, with the team they have, and it's traditionally for years, even back then, we started with this conversation talking about the teams from the 90s and the 80s that made it to the Super Bowl. A tough play to play. It's like a Green Bay. For one, it's cold right now. And then the crowd, Bills Mafia, are loud as all get out. And so you have all the elements.
They got ammunition this time around, too.
Exactly.
Snowballs all game long.
Oh, yeah. And that part, I was like, is that legal?
The funny part was I think they were like finding unique ways to bring it in with them.
Right.
Because I thought they could clear a lot of the snow, but there's a few times I was looking around. It looked like people were just out there finding unique spots, like on top of places they didn't sweep, and they'd go grab themselves a clean.
Is that
snowball.
what they were doing? Oh, man. Because I'm like, they could get kicked out of the stadium for doing that. Because I know Mahomes got tagged with a few.
Yeah, as soon as the game was over. And
I was like, throwing. I said, I would keep my season ticket.
If I was a Bills fan, I'd do a look around and be like, how many people are throwing snowballs? Yeah, there's no way.
They can't get all of us. They can't arrest. They can't arrest us like what's that one movie, Harlem Nights, where they arrested everybody in the club, and then they had to let everybody go the next day.
Yeah, I'm okay with the snowballs though. To me, that's fun. That's
it was fun.
It's not like the Tennessee we're all throwing trash at you.
Yeah,
that was a nightmare situation.
And definitely don't be like Philly fans. I heard my rookie year that Philly fans would take snow and put C&D batteries in them. So I'm glad that didn't happen.
That's horrible.
It's terrible.
If that's
Philly
true,
fans.
I believe it. I mean, let's be real here.
It's Philly Eagles fans.
When Kobe returned to Philly for his first game, they did boo him. So,
yeah.
With that being said, I can believe that when it comes to Philly fans.
They booed Michael Irvin when he had a neck injury.
Yeah, the pros and cons. Pros and cons of a gritty fan base. I can speak about that because the Bulls booed the unfortunate. I don't know if you caught that one.
Oh, this like now?
Recently, it would have been recently.
Who they
for
booed?
Jerry Krause, widowed wife. Obviously, Jerry Krause passed.
Yeah, the owner,
she got booed. She was crying.
Really?
Yeah, it was a horrible situation.
Oh,
I think
goodness. That's rough.
The Jordan 30 for 30. I think hindsight did a lot of damage without realizing it.
Yeah, and I wasn't that big of a fan, but I was a fan enough to be a Michael Jordan fan. But even as a kid, I did hear like where he didn't have, he wasn't on the same page as Krause.
No, yeah, never was.
Yeah, and it's just interesting. But now to hear that, dang.
Yeah.
Well, the fans are the fans. They almost don't have no pulse. Sometimes.
Yeah, that was.
You got to have a pulse, man. You got to have a heart.
I just really wonder. We'll go to break here, but The Last Dance was never created. I don't think anyone has that strong of an opinion. I don't think people really realize because he's the only owner. You got 6 rings with him. It's the best run you've ever had. It was just not a great look for Bulls fans. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and throw it to break here. This is the Ahman Green Show. Host is always to my left. Harrison Arns on the 1s and 2s. We'll talk to you guys on the other side.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Pain, it's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
It's pro time, Nebraska. The Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, are about to hit the court. Mark your calendars for January 24th at 7 p.m. when we host the first ever Pro Volleyball Federation match against the Atlanta Vibe at the CHI Health Center. Last including national champion and Olympian. Don't wait. Single match tickets today at supernovas.com. Be all a part of history.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC. We'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonuses happening right now on our new inventory at Copple. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Copple. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to CoppleCars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. Must have trade and finance. Stock number 2207684.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
How do people feel about getting Big Fitness Energy at Planet Fitness for $1 down and $10 a month? They feel as thrilled as a kid the first time they're tall enough to ride the roller coaster. That's right. When you join Planet Fitness right now, you can access a ton of equipment and free fitness training in a clean and spacious club. Don't wait. Join the judgment-free zone today for that all-day energy. Download the free Planet Fitness app and join today for $1 down, $10 a month.
Deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, is hosting their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney, Nebraska, January 31st through February 1st. Landmark Sprayer Clinic offers expansive equipment and technology training on John Deere and Hagee sprayers. Learn about the newest technology, machine maintenance, spray tip selection, exact applied sprayers, and more. Free Dicamba certification will be available. Join Landmark at their sprayer January 31st and February 1st in Kearney. Find more information at landmark.com/events.
Ooh, what a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer. Need an afternoon pick-me-up? Have a coffee or smoothie on your way to work. Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
This is the Ahman Green Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Doors Plus.
All right, welcome back in. The Ahman Green Show. This is always Ahman Green. To my left, we got a couple minutes here left. We didn't talk about the Detroit Lions yet, who also make their playoff.
We got enough time. We can hit that.
Yeah, I got a shot at Dan Campbell on the line.
Awesomeness. Yes.
Here, from biting off caps to having a real plan. He's actually done it. He's done it.
I love that line. I said, that is me. I would have said something crazy like that in my press conference. I'm like I've been saying, I think I said it a few times already on the show. I said, I don't die easy. That was Walter Payton's thing. Don't go out of bounds without hitting somebody. Don't die easy. Don't get tackled by one person. Like, when you tackle me, I'll be telling my players, if I was football coaching it right now, like, I don't know how chaotic my players would be able to Like what type of player would I develop? Because if it was something that I would ideally know, I'm like, man, I'm creating a Tasmanian devil. And they're gonna come on that every time the ball is kicked off, the other team gonna be like, man, like kind of like us back in the day, like, man, we gotta play against these dudes again. And we gotta do this for 4 quarters. They just gonna beat us up and hit us. I'm like, yeah, it's football. Like I say, I'm recruiting physical players. Doesn't matter the size. It's like it doesn't matter the size. All the bark in the dog. That's what I want. You know, it's like you could be small, but if you come to play, we play hard. We're not gonna give up. You know, we're beaten when the clock is done. That's the only reason we lose because we were a couple of steps behind, a couple of errors behind. But we're gonna go to the film, correct it, and get right back out there. And you gotta have the best squad on the other side of the field to beat us. Because if not, if you don't have effort, we're gonna beat you. You know, and that's the stuff he would talk about all the time.
This is the best compliment I can give Dan Campbell is I don't see that Lions team kind of pulling what I saw with the Cowboys, or the Eagles.
Like and Blake looks
give
starting
up,
with that.
give up, head shaking. In
Yeah.
the first half. The game's not over. Like you said, if you beat us, it's going to be because you were the better team when the clock hit 0. Not when
That's
the
it.
clock hit the second quarter.
Exactly.
And that's kind of what I felt like happened with the Eagles and Cowboys. The Cowboys was just
It was weird.
It was a disaster. You just saw so much head shaking. I'm like, I get it, you're down 14, but also keep in mind how dominant you were all season.
Right.
And the game's not over. But it just felt like they gave up and it was too late. Just gave the Packers more confidence. Same thing with the Eagles. 9 points against a Buccaneers team that hasn't been really shoving anyone around. Defensively, they're good, but not you're only going to get 9 points.
No.
So I was very surprised there. We'll talk about the Bills here. Obviously, there's a few storylines in that one. Baker Mayfield, we'll see what happens next for him. But before we go to break here, did you happen to catch to see why did Todd Bowles, head coach of the Buccaneers, not call timeout when he could have had the opportunity to get the ball back? Yes, it would have been a long shot.
No, I missed that one.
It would have been a long shot.
Yeah.
But the Lions basically snapped the ball too early. So if Bowles would have taken the timeout, he would have had the opportunity to get the ball back, try to get a touchdown. It was still a 2-score game.
Yeah, you got Mike Evans catching the ball great. Yeah. 5-point the ball. He was just on. His hands and eyes were on. So yeah, the opportunity there for how many seconds left?
It was about, I want to say it was like, when they would have got the ball back, it would have been 30.
Oh my God.
They would have had about 30 seconds.
Like, how many timeouts? One timeout. That's plenty of time.
Yeah.
That is an eternity in my world between the receivers that you have. You don't just have Mike Evans. You have Trey Palmer, Speedster out of here, out of Nebraska. So that's an eternity. So yeah, maybe it's a little minute error, but sometimes errors that's what gets you out of games. Unfortunately, so he probably knows that as a coach.
They asked him about it at the end. He kind of said it was weird. He basically said the game was over. It was. I was like, I've seen crazier things happen. Is where I kind of left off on it.
Right.
It's an interesting read for anyone listening out there. Just kind of read Bowles why they didn't decide to go for
game. Like he could score a touchdown, get the 2-point this time, going overtime.
I didn't understand it at all.
And that's the mindset you gotta have. Like he's not taking nothing away from Cowboys. He is an experienced defensive coach, defensive coordinator when he was with Aaron when he first got there to Tampa. And so you gotta have that between faith and just positive thinking. Like, you know what, we can make something happen. And if we don't, at least we try.
Yeah.
I played baseball enough where my coaches would tell me, hey, on that third strike, I want you to see you go swing the bat. I don't care if you throw the bat at the ball. Make an attempt. So I would have, as a team, I want, where my players don't question where I'm at and how I think. As a coach on my team, my players would know, hey, Coach Green about to go for it.
Yeah.
We're about to call this timeout, and then we got one timeout, so that means we can get the ball, get a completion, 20-yard completion, get out of bounds, and we have another one we can get over the middle.
So we got your timeout.
We got a timeout, then we get towards the end zone and see what happens. We've seen it happen before in college football, even though it's pro. It happened Milrow with Alabama against Auburn, right?
Yeah, scrambles, last second, absolute dot to the corner.
Right.
Could have been Mike Evans.
Exactly. So
Baker Mayfield.
Always give your players, you've won as a coach, you put your players in the best position to win, and then always give them that opportunity to win. That's two things that you got to remember as a coach, as a coordinator, as an assistant. Think of those things every time when something like this pops up, then you take the coaching out of it and let the players handle it. So, like, you know what? I'm putting the ball in your hands. Here's a play. I know you're going to win that. Mike Evans over this DB. Get it out of bounds, blase, and then boom, maybe. But now he's got something to learn off of in terms of Todd Bowles. Older coach, you can still learn while you're growing at the same time.
Yeah, interesting. It's just a little bit of a culture thing to me. We kind of talked about clock didn't hit zero, especially when there's an opportunity to go ahead and try to tie things up. But nonetheless, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for the Ahman Green Show. You guys always go back on YouTube, rewatch the show. We talked a lot of esports in that first segment. So if you need updates about that, definitely rewatch on YouTube. But that's going to be it for us. Up next, we got the Don't Punt Hour with the Mornay Pearsonell. Don't go anywhere.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open